So greetings, Aries. Nice to meet you. This is Foxastrologyjon Tarot doing a monthly reading and astrology transit update for you for the month of August. I'll just dive right into it. This one is covering in more specific the love or possible relationships, romantic side of astrology, to see if there's any insight into your relationship, whether you're single or whether you're currently committed. That's up to you. As to what your interpretation is, it's based off of your personal situation. So I'll try to interpret as broadly as I can to cover that too. So here we have, to start out, we have Mercury going direct on the 3rd. Maybe some communication issues you might have had before, very emotional, very heated. This time around, you'll be able to communicate more clearly what you feel, what your experience is. If you're in a relationship, this will really help to bring that relationship back to center as you kind of reconnect and redefine, maybe some situation that you're going through recently. On the 7th and the 8th, we have Venus trining Jupiter in Scorpio and the Sun trining Jupiter in Scorpio. I would say in general, this is a great experience for romantic sides of things as we're getting into deeper struggle for intimacy, a expansion or a growth in this self-awareness, maybe digging into deeper issues, the root of issues. If you're in a relationship, this is a great time to strengthen that intimacy. If you're not in a relationship, this is probably a difficult time to find a partner if you're starting a new relationship, as they may also be going through some deep things and it'll be kind of difficult to start off new. But there's time later in the month, which I'll mention in a little bit. The next thing we have here is on the 13th, we have the Sun in conjunction with Venus, which is in Cancer. It's a great time for maybe a beginning of a relationship if you're looking, or if you're developing a relationship right now that hasn't quite moved into romance. This is a great time for that, as the Sun in conjunction with Venus is really going to present joyful experiences, pleasure, fun, creativity. Meeting somebody during this time when you're in this phase and when they're in this phase, it's a great opportunity to see the best version and really make a good decision whether or not you're interested in them during this time. Meeting somebody at a time where maybe you're having communication issues or you're dealing with deeper issues and struggles is probably going to be a way of starting that relationship off on a bad foot. But if you're in a relationship, this is going to be a real blossomy kind of time for you both, as you're able to really enjoy each other's presence, go out and have fun, make things together. Just in general, lots of good body feelings and lots of fun kind of intellectual conversations, stimulating conversations. It's going to be a great time for those who are in a partnership already. Coming up on the 16th, we have Mercury squaring Uranus in Aries. So even though this is in your sign, Mercury communications, this may cause some struggle in relationships that you're already in, that you have already been working on for some time. It's going to bring up maybe some issues in communication. Most likely, this is going to be revolve around making changes, revolving around new ideas, maybe letting go of old habits and bad behaviors. So it may be kind of a sensitive spot, especially for Aries, which has a tendency to want to move forward and not look back into this past and looking at maybe old mistakes or old wounds. But this may be a struggle for you. Just remember, as you let go of these old habits, even though you are confronting them in the moment, letting go of them will allow you to make room for new things. It's important to keep that in mind, even as you struggle communicating clearly and maybe having some emotional moments, to keep your eye on the prize, so to speak. Your eye is on the relationship, on the development of this relationship and the intimacy that you have together. So for starting new relationships, I definitely probably would not recommend this at this time, as communication issues may make it really difficult to develop and to get to know each other properly. Now, next we have, I've realized I don't have the card pulled for this, but we have on the 21st Mercury trining Saturn in Sagittarius. Mercury trining Saturn in Sagittarius is actually pretty positive. I feel like there's great communication, great plans, great businesses. But for an Aries, I feel like this may be kind of bogging you down into some transactional, kind of mutual beneficial relationships, which may be, depending on the person that you're interested in, may be a good thing. It's up to you really if this is a red flag or not. It's a great time on the 21st to really make mutual partnerships and committed partnerships, because you're going to be really on the ball detail-wise. You're going to be really able to communicate clearly. This may not be the best time for starting a new relationship because it may not really be that fiery, may not be really that passionate. On the 24th, we have Venus in conjunction with Mars in Leo. This is a great time to begin relationships, a great time to develop what you've already got, as you'll both be able to be communicating emotionally clearly. You'll both be very sensitive and empathetic to each other's situation. And in general, it will make it much easier to get what you want, as you'll be communicating clearly. On the 17th, the 18th, and the 27th, we have 3 different dates, but all of them we have some planets moving into Leo. We have Venus moving into Leo, the Sun moving into Leo, and Mercury moving into Leo. So I brought out Esclarement de Foi, the 3rd card in the Major Arcana in the Cathar Tarot, because this card I feel really represents the Leo kind of energy coming in for you. We have passion, we have kind of wildness and a really strong identity, courageous identity. This I feel is going to bring in, because it's the Sun, Venus, and Mercury, a great sense of presence, a great sense of creativity. And on one hand, while it may encourage a little bit of recklessness, a little bit of, rushing in headstrong, it's ultimately, I think, is a great thing for you in romance, because this is going to really push you into a situation where you are looking for admiration, where you're looking for recognition, and you're looking to be really seen as having a role in someone else's life that has an impact and is strong and important. This is possibly going to drive your partner crazy if you're already in a partnership with somebody, mostly because it may become kind of all about them or all about you, and depending on the dynamic of the relationship, it may make it kind of a strain. But in the meantime, try to celebrate it. Try to really celebrate each other, celebrate who they are, their role in your life, and really commit yourself to recognizing where they're at, and you'll both really get a lot out of this transit. Finally, we have on the 26th, we have Venus trining Uranus in Aries. We have on the 28th, Mars trining Uranus in Aries. And on the 29th, the Sun trining Uranus in Aries. All happening with Uranus in Aries. I brought out the Bonhomme card, the good man, the new start. In romance, I feel Uranus is really going to be pulling off these old layers. It could be memories. It could be past relationships trying to come back to you. It could be trying to restart old relationships that you're hanging on to for some reason that aren't really that healthy for you. Or it could be a current relationship that you're in that you're trying to really, restructure in a way that really works for both of you and isn't based on maybe the way that you entered into the relationship, the way that that's not working for you anymore. So this is an opportunity here to make some changes and have some shifts in perspective, and bringing in a new energy into your current relationship, or bringing in a new person into your life if you're single and looking for a change, maybe in the kind of person you're typically with, maybe in the way that you typically date, or maybe the kind of person that you're looking to commit to is going to surprise you, and it's really going to come out of nowhere, and you're going to have to really realize to yourself, is this something that I want or that I don't want as a result of it being different? Or am I okay with this being different? And learning to roll with the punches. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you, Aries, just to see if in general for the month of August, if there are any messages for you that might help you make it through with some grace, better understanding of yourself, and maybe have a little fun while you're at it. So here we have the antelope and the dolphin. I feel like the pressure here, the message here is maybe there's a delay, maybe there's something you've been procrastinating on, maybe something you've been worried about sacrificing in your relationships, whether you're committed or whether you're single. This, I feel, is a time for you this month to really look at what it is that you're holding on to, that you're hesitant to sacrifice, even though you know it must be done, even though you know it will help move you forward, or maybe even move your relationship with somebody else forward, knowing what's necessary. The antelope encourages you to really recognize, either way it has to be done. The longer you wait, the more painful this may be. The longer you wait, the more damage this may cause. And so don't hesitate. Jump into action, jump into forward motion. Really great message for an Aries. And finally, the dolphin. I feel like here is a message here for you to breathe, maybe even focus on some activities that might get you outside into the air, maybe getting up high somewhere. I'd also say in general, this is about breath work, maybe even doing some physical exercise to really help you struggle through this emotions, since they're going to be brought up a lot with Scorpio and Cancer. I would say maybe using yoga or using any kind of exercise where you really have to focus your breath patterns and get into a nice kind of cycle. Feel like in general, this message for you is pacing yourself and, more importantly, taking action when you really feel it's necessary and you feel like a delay is just going to worsen the issue. So hopefully this helps you for the month. I'd love to hear feedback from you later as you go through these experiences. I'd love to hear back. So always let me know. Also, you can email me or comment below your feedback. Hit the subscribe button if you want to catch weekly readings from me, as well as more updates on the astrology, more specifics, in depth onto some of the stronger things. And you can also check out my website where I provide tarot readings and natal charts for you at a pretty good price. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you next month. Peace.